All right, well, welcome to our Friday conversation. Now we're here joined by EIU softball today, and I don't know how the Zoom thing goes. I learned this morning on another call we were like at a 9-1, and I was thinking of the old series Brady Bunch, and I may be the only one that remembers what that looks like with the 9 cubes up on the thing, and everybody had a different person in the center square based on how that had gone. So I don't know when this records. I think it's my screen. So for people watching at home, Carly Willard is on the top shelf with myself, and then our head coach Tara Archibald has the fancy sunset background there, and then our graduate assistant coach Rachel Hauk is outdoors enjoying some fresh air right now. And so I guess one of my questions I would ask is, have you been able to get outdoors? And I'll have Rachel start because evidently she's at least gotten to her back porch.
No, yeah, I have like there's 4 dogs and 5 cats in my house. I try to get out here to be, away from them, no distractions. But no, yeah, the weather's been good since I've been home to do the workouts outside. It's been nice.
So Carly and Tara, have you guys been able to venture out of the house at all, or has it been quarantine and essentially you're just going room to room?
Yeah, we've been able to get out a little bit. I'm close to where Rach is right now. So yeah, it's been nice weather, going on a lot of walks, attempting at running. Our players are much better runners than I am, I can tell you that. But yeah, I've been outside a little bit.
Yeah, same. I've really enjoyed the weather the last few days, and having 3 boys, 13, 10, and 11, 13, 10, and 9 in my house right now, the great weather and being able to get outside is much appreciated. So it's been nice. We've played some baseball, went on walks. The dog's getting spoiled, lots of walks. So it's been good. The weather's been great.
Now, I know one of the things that we'll have is a happy belated birthday to Coach Archibald there. I know they put a graphic out there celebrating. So I guess, how was the first ever quarantine birthday? Hopefully there are no repeats of this down the road.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to do that every year, but it was good. My husband fixed an amazing dinner, had some good food. He grilled out for me a little bit, and kids spoiled me. So it was fun. It was good. We made the most of it for sure.
Now we talk about the new normal here, and I guess one of the questions is what kind of, I guess, what would be a routine for you as a coach during this time of the year? What's kind of changed in your everyday routine? And I know Tara, every morning when I see her come in, she's got a big Starbucks. The Starbucks in Charleston is closed, so I will tell you the drive-through in Mattoon was open the other day when I was over there running errands. If you need a fix that badly, I don't know how long that'll be for, but maybe that gives you a little bit of hope.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that's probably dangerous that you just told me that.
Don't tell her that. She's been saving her money.
I have. I've probably saved a lot of money during this whole thing without my Starbucks run every morning. So routines are definitely way different right now than they were just a few weeks ago. So trying to get used to the new normal, get used to the new routines. With me, I've got kids homeschooling too. So we try to get that in early in the morning, and then I hit the office / my closet in here and get to work for the day. But yeah, the routines are definitely way different now than they were just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and I have a lot more time. I have a lot more time now to work out and get my schoolwork done, which is helpful. But yeah, just trying to get away from the distractions has been helpful to get stuff done.
And for me, I think the biggest thing that changed is when I get to my office, I'm able to lock in. And now being in a different environment, working from home, there were a lot of distractions. And, I don't have windows in my office. So looking out the window, it's like, oh, that looks like a nice day outside. So getting used to that has been an adjustment. But now I'm able to do it, set up my space, and get some stuff done. But yeah, it's different not having players come by, sit down in your office and just casually talking to them. Definitely miss that.
Yeah, I think this whole experience has definitely given me more appreciation for people that do their career working from home. It's hard to, I agree, it's hard to balance. My setup here, as I look out into our front yard in the last 2 days, it was absolutely gorgeous, and you just want to shut the computer and go outside, but there's work that still needs to be done, even though you're in a different working environment right now.
Right.
Now we talk a little bit about how the season came along here, or I guess came to a crashing halt. Every season ends a little bit differently, and you guys, I know I was there in the office as you kind of were going through this. You guys were actually getting ready to start a long spring break trip, and in hindsight, it was probably good that you didn't go. You might have still been stuck in Florida right now had you been able to make that trip, or had really had to struggle how to get back. But I guess kind of how did that go? And now, you're 2 or 3 weeks away from it. Kind of how has that sunk in, and how have you kind of dealt with that with the team?
Yeah, that day was a whirlwind for sure. I think actually Tom, Michael, and I started talking about it the night before, kind of late into the evening, and then we were in the office bright and early that morning talking about it, and going back and forth all day long. And he came to our practice that evening at like 5:30, and I know the girls like swarmed him waiting to hear the answer because they were nervous what was going to happen, and at the time we still didn't know. And then, we were supposed to pull out of town at midnight that night, I believe. And I think the final decision maybe was made at like 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. It was late. That's all I remember. It was just a big whirlwind. But yeah, looking back on it, man, we had no idea what was getting ready to really happen. And it all worked out the right way. People made the right decisions. Everything happened the way it was supposed to. And I'm thankful for great administration that did make the right decision, even though it was tough decisions at the time, and keep us safe and keep us from having to, what would have been worse. Like you said, it would have been way worse if we got all the way out there and then had to figure out how to get back and when to get back and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was a crazy day, and one I will probably never forget for as long as I can remember. But since then, it's just been day by day. I think, it's a lot. I've heard people say it's like grieving a season, grieving something that you lost. And I think it absolutely has been that in a lot of ways. The girls, man, that meeting that we had to let them know. And of course, most of them had already kind of known by then because it came out on social media before we could get to them. But that was tough, because you had seniors who didn't know if this was really at the time they thought it was the end. They thought they had played their last game, and we still don't know that. We're still trying to wait for answers on that. Hopeful, very hopeful that that's not the case now, but at the time we didn't, and kids were crying, and it was tough. And I think every day that went by, you just tried to support them and give them as many answers as you could, even when you didn't have answers, and let it work itself out. But yeah, I think now we're all starting to accept the new normal, like you said, and learning ways to just be as successful as we can in these new situations and try to make the most of it. And I think our girls are doing a fantastic job of doing that and making the best of the situation. We actually just talked to them a couple hours ago, had the opportunity to listen to an EIU baseball alum talk to us a little bit, and that was exciting. And then we had a little group chat as well. So it was good to see their faces, and they all seem to be doing great. So I think they've responded well. I think we're trying to respond really well and just keep moving forward.
Yeah, and there were so many, I think, but at first it was such a big shock. Everyone was so upset. But then as time's gone on, like every senior in the country is feeling the same thing that they're feeling. So I think it helps them kind of not get over it, but like deal with it because everyone's in the same boat. And then they also have like all the hope of, being able to play again. And I know I felt so bad for them because all those girls had they bought in so much to the new culture, and they were really working hard, and things were finally coming together, just for it to get cut off like that. So it was a sad day for sure.
Now we'll talk a little bit. I guess you since then it has sunk in and I don't know that it ever sunk in is the right word, but I guess resonated with your athletes. How have you moved on to kind of the new normal with them, and what types of things do you kind of work with them, meet with them about to kind of keep them focused? And one of the things that baseball said, and you guys were probably in a similar situation, is while they got the news that the season was over and the NCAA championship was going to be canceled, they still had a glimmer of hope that maybe we could still play some games against some local schools, and some other teams would have that. There would be a chance to actually still go out there and, and have some competition. How is that new normal, new routine you guys have created for them kind of developed over here over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I would say it's still developing, but yeah, no doubt. There was such a roller coaster of events there that you kept holding on to little bits of hope that this would happen. And I know at one point I was just holding on. I thought we would really just be able to have practice. Like I thought there for a while, I thought, hey, beginning of April, we'll get them back in April and we'll be able to just have practice. And I know some of us were just really looking forward to that and hoping that that was going to be the case. So we held on to that for a little while. But yeah, I think the focus obviously has been on academics, just trying to get them really comfortable with the new normal for academics, right? Because they're all trying to figure out how to be a student at home now and how to be successful with these online classes and how to communicate with professors when you can't just walk into their offices. So I've just been spending a lot of time with them trying to get them comfortable with the new normal for academics. And then today, like I said, we kicked it off with a talk about hitting from Kevin Seitz, the EIU alum that talked to us about hitting today. That was awesome. And I think we're going to continue to build on that and really just do as much as we can to work on our team culture, continuing to build our team culture, and then some mental approach stuff that we really want to spend some time on as well. So video chats and all these Zoom meetings are crazy how much we can get done. But up to this point, we've really tried to key in on the academic piece and make sure everybody's safe and healthy was first, and then help them be as successful as they can academically.
And then this will probably once again be up kind of the line with Tara here kind of answering this, but the conversations with seniors, you initially probably had a conversation with them that, hey, the season is over. And then things start to unfold over the next, week, 10 days that the NCAA grants, there's an opportunity still for you to play. Okay. But every school is now going to make an individual decision, and now it becomes a financial decision. And that was on the heels of, oh, by the way, the NCAA is not giving all the schools this boatload of money like they have in the past, because they were hit financially as well. And I guess
right,
you don't want to get specific. Everybody's still in an individual situation. You may not even have these in-depth conversations, but the general tone of how have those meetings gone with those. And it doesn't just impact seniors, as I met with baseball, as juniors, freshmen, sophomores, they all got an extra year as well. I think some people forget about that. It was a decision kind of made to benefit seniors, but it could have some long-lasting impacts on roster management and budgets.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's made it it's a difficult situation, and it's very, just when you think you kind of have a little bit of it figured out, something else comes up that causes a loophole into the situation to make you have to think about it in a different way. So to be honest, that's what a lot of my time has been spent, trying to talk to administration and figure out what can we do, what are we able to do, and then how can we do that, and how can we make this the best situation we can for the program and for the athletes as well. And it's not easy on anybody right now. And I think, when the NCAA came out with that announcement, it was exciting and it was great, but at the same time, it put a lot of pressure and stress on other people to try to figure out how to make that work. And so we're still deep into the process of figuring that out. I tried to just give the girls as much information as I could as I got it, and let them talk to their families about that. And they have to figure out, we've got kids that had planned on starting a career. We have kids that have planned on starting grad school at a different institution. They planned on being a GA, had already accepted a GA position. So there's just so much that goes into it, not just, they all want to keep playing softball. If they could keep playing softball, that's easy, but it's a matter of, how does this work financially for my family? How does this work with my future career? How does this work for the grad school that I need to take? And then once I'm done playing softball in a year, what does that look like when I'm done? And can I handle that financial piece? So there's just so much that goes into it. And again, we're just trying to take it day by day and gather all the information we can gather, and then help each player and their family make the best decision for them.
All right, well, we'll go a little more lighthearted here on you. And I had asked this question on a couple of the other ones. You're spending a lot of time online now, and rightly or wrongly, I know they say screen time is bad for kids and for people, but right now screen time seems to be the only thing that kind of keeps people connected. Having these Zoom conferences, you have to get online to work, and kind of every once in a while you're going to want to divert away from work when you're on the laptop. What are some things you're seeing yourself going to do? Are you're doing shopping? You're looking up trips? What's kind of becomes a guilty pleasure? And have you pulled the trigger and made any of those impulse purchases?
I'm gonna let Rach and Carly take those. Go ahead, guys.
Well, I found myself looking at puppies a lot. Have not pulled the trigger on it, thankfully. I have put in a couple applications. Sorry, Mom and Dad, if you're watching this. But yeah, no, looking at puppies.
I like to just go to different websites and add a bunch of things to my cart that I want, but not actually buy them. So I do spend a lot of time, I'm like, oh, I would love to have this, but I gotta wait. So I have probably several different websites. I have carts full of stuff that I would eventually want, but I have not been too irresponsible about it, thankfully. Yep.
Coach Archibald, any guilty pleasures, or are you going to pass?
I'm an Amazon person, so I've probably spent way too much time on Amazon. But I feel like that's helping me though, because it's keeping me out of stores and staying home and staying safe. So I'm going to say that I'm doing good by going on Amazon.
Very good.
Nice
Very
try.
good. Until you find out the Starbucks is open and now you're going to get out of the house. So.
You have totally changed my day by telling me Starbucks and Mattoon is open. So we'll see.
I hope it still is. I hope to have told you wrong. There were cars driving through it last week. So, but the other thing is you spend time online. You talk about Amazon. There's Amazon Prime. There's Netflix. Have you guys found yourselves? Are there certain things you end up having to binge doing, whether that's binge watching or are you reading more? Kind of what have those social habits changed a little bit from there, since you don't have, your routine would be entirely different right now if you were in the thick of a softball season. You would be getting home from practice and you would probably just want to sit down and relax. Right now you're using these relaxing type things to kind of take your mind off of what it is in terms of being in the house all the time.
Yeah, when I'm here and I'm at home, I usually will have while I'm working on stuff, I'll have the TV playing. So I've gone through quite a bit of shows already that I'm just half watching. Tiger King was a big one. I've watched that a couple times since it's came out, to be honest. I made my whole family watch it. So I've watched it with each person in my family once I told them to watch it. Yeah. There's just not much to do, so you gotta keep yourself entertained.
Awesome.
Coach?
I don't watch much TV, just to be honest, Netflix, none of that. It doesn't happen. I will leave HGTV on in the background of my house, and constantly, if I'm going to turn the TV on, that's typically what it's going to be on. But yeah, I'm just not a big TV person. I have been reading more, trying to take the time to just sit and read a little bit more. But yeah, I've not done anything too crazy with the Netflix, and that's just not my thing.
And then for me, actually, it's kind of ironic, I guess, but maybe other people can relate to this. I feel like I'm talking to my family a lot more, and doing these Zoom calls. Like the other day, we did a Zoom call and we played Pictionary. So that was just kind of cool. It gives us all a reason. We're all in 4 different states right now. So it's kind of bringing us closer together in an ironic type of way.
It's interesting that you say that. Is if you found yourself in it, I know you guys are trying to keep that connection with your team and trying to make sure that they have that interaction because they miss their teammates. I know you're having probably these Zoom calls, and maybe every once in a while you guys drop out of the Zoom call and let them kind of just cut up amongst themselves. But have you found yourself trying to reach out? You all played softball. You all either through high school travel and in college. Have you found yourself trying to reconnect with former teammates and kind of create those lighthearted situations once again and relive those memories?
I feel like a lot more people are active on social media right now, so because they're just bored. So I see a lot of things that I relate to that I'll respond to. or like people like going through old pictures on their phone or going through old videos and like they'll send them on. But other than that, like the whole social distancing thing is kind of normal for me. Like that's kind of how I live my life. So it's not much different.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Harley, your coach on?
I think the bracket thing that's going on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry you got beaten your first matchup on.
It's okay. It's quite all right. She's a Hall of Famer, and she's actually pretty awesome. So I've met her. I would love to play just as good as she did. But I think that's pretty cool. Seeing the alumni on there too. And I'm definitely going to take another look at the brackets when we get off this call and probably talk a little smack to some of the alum.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's caused people to reach out a little bit more and touch base with people. I know I've had people just check in, and I've checked in on people in the coaching world that maybe I hadn't talked to in a little while. This time of year is not normal to be able to just catch up and talk to people and do that. So I've tried to take advantage of it as much as I can. But I agree with Rachel. I think the social media has been a big way for people to kind of check in with people and touch base with people as well. So it's been fun to watch that happen.
Okay, and then the way we've been trying to wrap all these up, and I do appreciate your time on today. And I know time you have a lot of free time nowadays, but you have other things that you do need to be doing with that time. Is kind of I've asked each of the staffs and each coach to kind of, I know you're talking to your athletes, but kind of a message you would want to kind of get out to them, their parents, and the people that are associated with your program. I know there's ways to do stuff through social media, but a lot of times they're maybe not hearing it from you directly. And I'm hoping maybe from this platform, this allows them to kind of hear what your message is on kind of where the program is and where you think things are going to go from here.
Rach, you go first.
I think there's such a big change in like the overall like culture of the program. Like everyone on the team, like they love each other, they hang out, they talk to each other, they're really bought in, they want to be good. They've worked harder than I've ever seen them work, like right up to when we got like we found out our season was going to be over, like that night before. I know a lot of them were at the field house hitting, just and it's just kind of, it's like their confidence is so much better, and I think they're really wanting to show what they have done, how they've changed, and kind of show what they had to prove. So it's kind of sad that it was over, but it's definitely exciting. I think they're all pumped. I know we can't know this for a fact, but I think I'm sure they're still working working hard on their own at home, and they're just really determined to come back and ready to come back.
Go ahead, Carly.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what Rach said. I mean, it was, even though the season was much, much shorter than we all planned or would have liked, it was exciting. This team, oh my gosh, this team fought. I have never seen that much fight in program history, quite honestly. And I think a lot of it too is they were bought in. They were bought into Coach Tara coming in. They're bought into each other. They're bought in the weight room, just all around. They worked their butts off, and they didn't give up. So yeah, it was tough to see that happen. But a message I'd tell them is, I'm proud of you guys. We miss you. We love you, and just hang in there. And we may not be together physically right now, but we're all in this together, and we'll come back stronger next year.
Yeah, I think the hardest part of this, or one of the hardest parts of this for me probably, was that the girls never got to play here at EIU on their field. They never got to play in front of their fans and show them what 2020 EIU softball looked like, because they had put so much hard work into the season and preparing for the season and being ready to play. And then to have it pulled out from underneath them like that without ever getting to play on their home field and show their fans what it looked like, that was hard for me, because it was special. I was just thinking about it before we get on this call, and one of the things this team did this year is they were just so resilient. They fought back, like she said, and if a team beat them the day before or the game before, man, they came back every time and they beat them game 2. You know, I could think Sanford lost game 1, won game 2. Northern Kentucky won game 1, but game 2 is a scrap, and man, they came back and fought and won in extra innings. Winthrop lost game 1, won game 2. Miami, Ohio, Green Bay lost game 1, won game 2. So they kept getting better. They kept getting better. They kept getting better. And that was so fun to watch as a coach. And I wish our fans here could have saw that. But they'll get to in time. And I guess that's my message to the girls is, yes, we're so proud of them. Keep working hard. Take this time that could be seen as an unfortunate circumstance. It definitely is hard for everyone, but let's use it as a positive, and make our program even better than it was when we left, and come back next year and really show our fans where we're at. And I think EIU softball fans have a lot to look forward to because of that.
All right. Good words there. I appreciate your time this afternoon, ladies, and everybody for watching our Friday conversation, and good luck and stay healthy.
Thanks, Rich. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.